Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol PFE for Pfizer Inc. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, it's been a while since we talked about the stock, so let's start from scratch with a brand new daily roadmap. I would firstly point out that area of support, this area of resistance, which was also prior support from in here. What else do we have outside of this little range that we've built? Definitely these highs around 57, and the lows in here strike me as important. A little bit of congestion from in the past. I'm not really reading into that too much. It's really all about the hammer candle low from that day right around in there. So that's going to kind of do it from the daily. We clearly have this area of balance. If we can break out, that's about a range double to the upside, and that's about a range double to the downside. So certainly some reasonable targets here inside of Pfizer. The one tricky thing about this is, of course, the fact that earnings will be coming out on tomorrow's session. So just be aware that, this analysis could go down the toilet, essentially, if we gap outside of this range and, maybe it's a massive gap up. We open around 60, maybe it's a massive gap down. No one truly knows. I wouldn't really recommend trying to forecast earnings based on some belief you may have. Generally, it's a 50-50 shot, and I would say if you're playing it with options, definitely not a wise endeavor to embark upon. So that's my 2 cents there. The other thing I would point out from the daily time frame chart is just simply this resistance trend line. If I do something like this, you can clearly see anchor from the all-time high, 1, 2, sort of 3, 4-ish getting into it on today's session. If we can't break that, I would favor the downside, right? We technically do have a little bit of a descending triangle, a breakdown there, very little structure from the daily that would offer to support us there. You can even see that on the 30-minute time frame here with the, whoa, not sure what happened there. Let's zoom back in. There we go. Continuous lower highs, right? Something like that. Flat and equal lows. If we flush around 52.50, not a whole ton of support from in here. I would say that there's one little area, this pullback low, basically right around here, 51.52, that may be a last line in the sand. So that should definitely act as your first target. If we get a downside move on tomorrow's session before earnings, I would probably watch out for this, maybe a lower high break. First target here, right? Support, and then reevaluate, because there's potential that maybe that's the higher low, and then a reattempt at the resistance trend line breaks that, takes us to the top of the daily range here at 54.50s, and then we continue on, right? It's all going to be a question mark after earnings, so we'll take it one step at a time. But for day trades tomorrow, definitely keeping an eye on this flush point, the descending triangle that's building here on the 30-minute time frame. That's ultimately going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it today or learned anything new, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.